Welcome to this joyous event. It is a privilege of the University of the Free State to welcome all our graduates with their relatives and friends to the ceremony. In order to maintain the solemnity of the program, you are requested to take note of the following. Please rise as soon as the procession enters the Kali Human Center. Please do not move around during the program to take photos. An official photographer will be taking photographs of the ceremony. No video recordings may be made. A videographer contracted by the UFS will be recording the ceremony. Please refrain from actions such as whistling. Please switch off your mobile phone now or activate the silent option. We shall try to ensure that the ceremony proceeds in a dignified manner without allowing it to continue for too long. Therefore, please do not leave the auditorium before the proceedings have ended. At the end of the ceremony, after the singing of the national anthem, please remain standing until the procession has left the stage. Thank you for your cooperation and support. Enjoy the special event with us.
Easily. Really annoying. Ah, say.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. By virtue of the power vested in me as Chancellor, I hereby constitute this congregation of the University of the Free State for the conferment of certificates, diplomas, and degrees in the faculties of health sciences, law, and theology. I therefore confer certificates, diplomas, and degrees on all the candidates that the deans present to this congregation. In addition, I hereby confer certificates, diplomas, and degrees on all those candidates whose names appear in the program, but who are not present here today. Allow me, ladies and gentlemen, to deviate from the usual brevity of this session and ask us to reflect a bit on what has been happening in our country for the last 2 to 3 weeks. Started ostensibly in KZN and clearly has spread to Gauteng, Johannesburg, Benoni, where our fellow citizens, perhaps they think in our names, they have to take it upon themselves to decide that those who, most of whom, for circumstances unfortunate in their own countries, have decided to come and share this beautiful country with us. Some of them, yes, may have come because the economic prospects were better here than in their countries, but we have our fellow citizens who have decided that their problems emanate ostensibly from the fact that these fellow Africans have decided to come and share this beautiful land with us. Most honorable, right-thinking South Africans are ashamed, are indignant that these fellow Africans are being dealt with the fate that currently has befallen them. And I believe that we all have a duty to say, no, not in my name. We all have a duty to say we bow our heads in shame that our fellow citizens have embarked upon this course. But I think most importantly, I want us to observe a moment of silence and reflect during that moment on those who are currently experiencing these difficulties as a result of the actions of our fellow citizens. Can I ask, ladies and gentlemen, that we all remove all headgear and observe a moment of reflection. Thank you very much. Please be seated. Again, I beg your indulgence. This is the last in the series of 8 graduation sessions that started on Tuesday. By now, I have shaken close to 3,000 hands. I have an ice bucket ready for this evening where I'm going to soak my right hand and to give you some time to recover. But having just dealt with a subject that is rather unpleasant, on a Friday afternoon, I'm going to lighten the mood of all of us here. On Tuesday or Wednesday, I think it was on Wednesday, I was closing the session on Wednesday, and somehow I got taken by spirit and put the Vice-Chancellor in a difficult position by making a request to him publicly. That this is such an incredibly important and exciting week in the life of this university. And he had been sharing it with us. And I just thought that the sharing would have even more meaning if we had this incredible young men and women standing here before you to come into this hall just for you all to come and see them. Who are these? The Vice-Chancellor tells us, Dr. Choi has told me that some of their coaches don't even know they are here. So if anybody gets into trouble with your coaches, please tell your coaches that the Chancellor gave the instruction. So the Vice-Chancellor had no option but to comply with instruction from the Chancellor. Ladies and gentlemen, before you is the Kofsi Rugby Club, Kofsi Netball, and Kofsi Tennis. Why are they standing in front of you today? Is because they're all national champions in their respective sporting codes. I therefore present to you the champions of our country, in rugby, in netball, and in tennis. I'm going to ask you all to please rise. They deserve a standing ovation from all of you. Thank you very much. Young men and women, we are immensely proud of the positive reflection on this institution that comes about because of your triumphs, not just academically, but also in sporting fields. And we truly hope that you'll not be like those American college football players, half of whom finish 4-year degrees and can't even read or write. We hope that I will have an opportunity to graduate all of you, and some of you with distinctions, so that you can demonstrate to all that you can excel both in the classroom, in the sporting field, and when you leave this place, you'll go and excel in life. The Vice-Chancellor says that, particularly about the rugby team, that what's incredible about you is that you are a team without individual stars. You are a team where the whole team is the star. And that's the kind of team that I would want to be a part of, where each and every member of this team contributes to this collective star that's called a team. And I'm sure the same would have applied to the netball team and to the tennis team. Ladies and gentlemen, as we bid them farewell, let's give them another round of applause.
Goedemiddag, dames en heren en eregasten. Ladies and gentlemen, our honored guests, good afternoon. Bomme le bontate, le baeti kaofela, le amohetswe mona University ya Freistad. We are here to celebrate this afternoon We celebrate excellence. And together, we are going to make it very special for the graduates sitting in front of us. To each one of the graduates, this is your moment. Congratulations, you worked hard to be here. So enjoy this moment as you walk across the stage. To the families, the grandparents and the parents, friends, and special people in your lives as graduates, you are all welcome, and enjoy this moment because it is yours as well. Allow me to introduce and welcome colleagues whom I've been working with the whole week. And this is the 8th session of the season and the last. The Chancellor, Dr. Khotso Mokgele, the Vice Chancellor, Professor Jonathan Johnson, the Acting Registrar, Dr. Sarieta Brousseau, the Deans of Faculties, academic staff, and support staff, and especially student academic services. We are here again. Let's make it special. Ladies and gentlemen, we have official photographers that are accredited by the University of the Free State who are in the hall currently. And there is also space made elsewhere around campus for photographers who are on freelance basis. The university does not take responsibility for the quality of photographs of those who are not accredited by the university. Now, for those who arrived in the hall after the pre-ceremony announcements, it is very important for us to go to page 2 of our program. On page 2, there's 3 things we need to note. The first one, we are here to celebrate, and people traveled very far to be here. And I know we all agree and care enough that when the names are called, we will make sure that the graduate and their families get to hear the name. It's very important to hear the name. We must celebrate, we must ululate, but make time to listen to the names. The second part, by all means, let's avoid walking around throughout the process. It is very important for us to remain seated. It's going to be a long ceremony. And we understand only when it's not avoidable that we can walk about. And I know to the mothers who are here with the little babies, it is in the nature of the babies to cry. We will not be surprised, but we will help you find a way to make sure that we do not disrupt their proceedings. And the last one, there was a time in our lives when we lived without cell phones. This moment is special enough for us to switch off our cell phones. I've already done so with mine. So at this point, I would want us to enjoy this ceremony and make it special for the graduates. Ladies and gentlemen, at this point, give me an opportunity to introduce to you our guest speaker of the day. Our guest speaker is Maria Padime, who is a medical doctor and award-winning author. Born and raised in Johannesburg Township of Soweto, Maria moved to Cape Town in 1991 to pursue her studies at the University of Cape Town, from where she graduated with a Bachelor of Science, that is BSc degree in 1993, and a Bachelor of Medicine and Surgery, MBCHB, in 1999. She practiced for a brief period as a general practitioner in South Africa and in the United Kingdom before leaving medical practice to pursue non-clinical interests. She has worked in trade and investment promotion and has undertaken research and consulting in the areas of economic development, and business facilitation. In 2010, Dr. Padime found her voice as a writer. She studied under the acclaimed South African author, Mike Nicol. In 2012, Dr. Padime was the recipient of the inaugural City Press Nonfiction Award for her memoir titled Postmortem, The Doctor Who Walked Away. In 2013, her novel for teens, Second Chances, was the English language category winner of the Meskew Miller Longman Literature Awards. In addition to writing and consulting, Dr. Padime is an accomplished speaker who has spoken at TEDx Johannesburg and numerous national speaking platforms. Let's watch a short video clip and welcome Dr. Padime to this podium.
I was born in the Johannesburg township of Soweto, the younger of two children. And my dream as a child was to be a doctor. So I loved school, I loved to learn, and I worked very hard. And I got into university. I was very proud of myself for doing that. And in 1999, I graduated from the University of Cape Town with medical. And it was a fantastic achievement for me. But soon after that, when I started practicing medicine, I realized that I wasn't where I wanted to be. So after just 4 years of working as a doctor, I decided to change course, to leave medicine behind and to try and create something new in my life. What followed was a very difficult journey of trying to find myself, what I wanted to do, how I could reinvent my life. And I did, for a long time it was a case of hit and miss until I found my voice as a writer. And at the end of 2010, I decided this is what I wanted to do. And I have since developed a second career, quite successfully so, as a writer. When I graduated from medical school 15 years ago, I was set. I was on a path that I was clear would sort me out from a professional perspective. But things didn't quite go as I had envisaged. And when it became very clear to me that I needed to make a change, I was devastated. Who would I become? I knew how to be a doctor. I defined myself as a doctor. And it took a lot for me to then start again, recreate my life, learn new skills, open myself up to new opportunities. And I'm very, very proud of myself for embarking on that very difficult journey. And not only to create a second career for myself, but to do so successfully. So that really is, one of my greatest achievements. And also, I'm really proud of that because of my other great achievement, which is being a mom. And it's great for me that I can show my daughters that, in life it's great to have big dreams, but it's also important to pick yourself up and start again when life knocks you down. And to be able to be an example for my children is really just fantastic for me. And I'm very glad that I can provide that example for my children. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Dumelang bomme le bontate. Goeiemiddag, dames en heren. Can you feel it? Can you feel the restlessness, the tension in the air, the undeniable sense that the world is falling apart. I can feel it. Aeroplanes are falling out of the sky. Statues are falling from some of our academic institutions. And every other day we hear in the news of yet another atrocity committed by a fundamentalist group. And more recently, we've seen the flare-up of the xenophobic violence across our cities. So yes, it does feel like the world as we know it is crumbling. If you look at our financial systems, our social structures, political orders, we are living at a very pivotal time in the history of mankind. So yes, the world is falling apart, but you know what? That's a good thing. Because out of those, from the ashes of that falling apart, that crumbling, will arise something new. We will come out of the destruction of this ego-driven, destructive, competitive world order, and something new will arise. And to the class of 2015, you have the opportunity to be the agents of that much-needed change. Once upon a time, I thought I could change the world. When I was at medical school, I was convinced that I would cure all my patients and end disease as we know it. So imagine my disappointment when my lofty ideals came crashing down around me. I remember very clearly the day that I realized that my dream was dying. It was a Saturday night, and I was working at a community health center in the Cape Town township of Khayelitsha. I was on call, and typically for a Saturday night, it was hectic. I worked with another doctor on call, and together we saw dozens of patients through the course of the night. Most of them were drunk and injured in some way. Most of those injuries weren't very serious. There were stabbings and beatings, a few superficial gunshot wounds. All that most of these patients needed after we'd assessed them was pain relief and dressings or stitches to their wounds. Admittedly, there were some serious cases, though. We'd be alerted to them by the sound of a stretcher being wheeled at high speed down the corridor, and my colleague and I would drop whatever we were doing to attend to them. Once we'd stabilized them, we'd refer them on to secondary and tertiary level hospitals for further management. A few of those serious cases we couldn't save. One of the patients we did manage to stabilize was a man in his early 30s. He was brought in at around 3 a.m. with a stab wound to his back. The knife had penetrated quite deeply into the fleshy muscle just below his right shoulder blade, and he bled profusely. So our priority on first seeing him was to stop the bleeding and to rehydrate him. It was particularly important to rehydrate him because he was extremely drunk. So chances are he was probably already dehydrated before his injury. After we'd stabilized him, I prepared his referral notes, and I made arrangements for an ambulance to come and get him to take him to a secondary level hospital where he would need to be seen by the surgeons to repair his wound. I saw other patients after that man, and by morning I was getting ready to go home. That's when I heard him in the room next to mine. He was shouting at one of the nurses and swearing at her. "I've been left here to die, I've been left here to die," he kept saying to her, obviously using much more colorful language than that. And he didn't seem to believe her when she told him that he'd already been attended to. So I went to intervene. I tried to talk some sense into him. I even showed him where I'd made my notes in his folder. But he wasn't interested. He was having none of it, and he continued to shout and swear. So I walked away to go and finish off my handover notes. I'd forgotten all about that man when I left the hospital later that morning. I'd been up all night, so my mind, I was set on getting home, taking a shower, and going straight to bed. But just as I was driving out of the hospital gates, I saw him again. He was standing across the road and he was trying to wave down a taxi. He wasn't wearing a top, and I could see that the dressing that we'd applied to his wound was soaked with blood. He'd clearly just stormed out of the hospital in a huff. My first instinct was to want to run to him, to try to convince him to come back, because he really needed to be in hospital. But I didn't do that. Instead, I sat in my car and I watched from a distance. I watched as taxi after taxi passed without stopping. And each time he would shout after it and wave his arms frantically. Eventually, a taxi did stop. He got in, and it drove off. That's when I engaged my gears and resumed my journey home. Now, I remember that scene like it was yesterday, though the reality is it happened more than 10 years ago. But it stands out so vividly in my mind because it represented a moment of clarity after months of confusion and indecision. I knew in that moment that it was time to leave medicine. After all, what kind of doctor drives away from a patient in need? I had failed. Here I was, a young, talented doctor from Soweto, and my dreams were lying in pieces in front of me. So I left medicine, and I shut the door firmly behind me. I wanted to make a fresh start and to hopefully forget this foolish notion I had that I could actually make a difference. But medicine wasn't done with me. I was haunted by the huge decision I made, and over again, I kept asking myself, what happened to those lofty ideals? What happened to that young woman who wanted to change the world? Had I really failed? We are all so scared to fail. Our whole lives we are taught that failing is for losers, and if we want to make it in life, then we must avoid failure at all costs. But is that really true? Because if you ask truly successful people, they'll say something quite different. They'll tell you that failure isn't about losing at all. It's simply an indication to go back to the drawing board, to think again, to make some adjustments. I went back to the drawing board 8 years after I left medicine. I went back and I interrogated my experiences. I asked very difficult questions of myself and others in the healthcare sector, and I really put my experiences under the microscope. And out of that inquiry, I got to see that my experiences weren't unique to me. There were many other doctors who faced the kinds of challenges that I faced. And more than that, I saw very clearly that there is a deep dysfunction in the way we practice medicine and provide healthcare in this country. I packaged this inquiry in the form of my memoir, and thankfully it has helped to shine a light on the challenges faced by doctors in this country and the impact that this has on their lives. It's as if my story has cracked open a wound that's been festering for years, but wasn't being attended to because no one wanted to admit that it was there in the first place. So at last we are talking about what it's really like, and we're asking ourselves some really critical questions. And thankfully, more and more doctors are speaking up about their experiences. And I'm clear that we've taken a critical step in healing healthcare and those who work in it. Now, did I know that my story would have that kind of impact? Not at all. Do I know where any of this will lead? Of course not. But you see, that doesn't matter. What matters is that I dared. I risked myself, and I ventured back into territory that I thought I'd left far behind. What will you dare to do? What are you willing to try and possibly fail at? Because the qualifications that are being conferred on you today are not simply pieces of paper attesting to how you spent your years at university. You are being given an opportunity to make a difference, to cause change in your particular area of focus, and to heal this very broken world of ours. So, class of 2015, I congratulate you on your achievement today. It's not going to be easy to cause this change, I can promise you that. It takes a lot of courage to envision a different reality. And be warned, those closest to you won't often agree with the choices you make. But I urge you to remember this, that the reason you are here is yours alone. Your purpose is given to you alone. And at the end of your days, you will sit and look back on your life and ask yourself whether your life has been worthwhile. And only you can give that answer. So I congratulate you on your achievements today, and I challenge you. I challenge you to play a different game, one that will help to make the world a better place. You have a fantastic foundation here. Your qualifications will help to open doors, they'll create opportunities, they will make sure that people sit up and listen to you. But to cause change, you must be willing to venture into uncharted territory, and you must be willing to possibly fail. Success will come from your ability to pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and try again. Congratulations to you all. May you be the change we all want to see. Thank you.
Dr. Padime, thank you very much for the courage to make a difference in people's lives. We are honored to have you here today for talking to our graduates in the morning and in this session, and we wish you well on your journey forward. Ladies and gentlemen, another round of applause. Now, our artists this afternoon are our alumni, and we are proud of them. It's Caroline Grace Brousseau and Cornel Miller. Caroline was born in Bloemfontein and loved music in all forms from a very young age. She embarked on her singing career during her matric year in 2004. Caroline was classically trained in ballet, as well as modern, Spanish, and tap dancing. In 2008, she was a member of the University of the Free State singing group that participated in an international singing competition in New York City. Caroline obtained her LLB degree at the University of the Free State in 2012. As for Cornel, our other alumnus, in 2005, Cornel received a scholarship to further his music studies at the University of Michigan in the US. He toured Egypt, Australia, Hungary, and the Czech Republic as a soloist with the University of the Free State Choir. In 2009, he received his degree in integrated marketing communication at the University of the Free State and was a member of the Student Representative Council. He has performed at a time when Oprah Winfrey visited the University of the Free State in 2011 and many other auspicious occasions. Ladies and gentlemen, let's listen to our artists.
Vivo per lei da quando sai, la prima volta l'hai incontrata, non mi ricordi come no, mentre dentro è stata. Vivo per lei perché mi fa vibrare forte l'anima, vivo per lei e noi non in peso. Attraverso un pianoforte, la morte è lontana, io vivo per lei.
Now with my new love I can cope with all the hurt and all the sadness. You are the one who gives me hope.
In this kind of love and madness, vivo per lei, lo so mi fa girare un tazita, soffre non puoi ralleno, lo vivo.
I can hear the music.
Vivo per lei dentro gli hotels.
Something deep inside me.
Vivo per lei l'unica. Attraverso gli anni voce si espande amore. Produce. Vivo per lei Leandrio e quadriantri sentrio che come ho scritto in viso io vivo per lei, io vivo per lei. Sono ignaro nero cara,
So true.
ogni giorno in acquista la protagonista sarà sempre lei. Vivo per lei perché ormai non ho l'altra vita condita, perché la musica lo sai, da un eroe roman tradita.
Now when I hear the
per lei la musica.
When you need a
Vivo per lei l'unica. Io vivo per lei. Io vivo per lei. Io vivo per lei.
Oh, thank you very much. Caroline and Cornel, you are highly talented. May your passion lead you to dare to dream higher. And remember always, we are with you all the way as Gopsies. Thank you very much. Another round. The big moment has arrived. Are you ready? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I now call upon the Dean of the Faculty of Health Sciences, Professor Gert van Zyl, to present the candidates for diplomas and degrees in his faculty. After him, the Dean of the Faculty of Law, Professor Caroline Nicholson, and then the Dean of the Faculty of Theology, Professor Fanny Snyman, will follow. Over to you, Professor Gert van Zyl.
Chancellor, I have the privilege to request you to confer the following degrees and diplomas on the candidates I introduce to you. In the School of Medicine, the Advanced University Diploma in Occupational Health, gevorderde universiteitsdiploma in beroepsgesondheid. Diergaard EWP, Krans EFW, Mabusela SI, Makelana DK, Postgraduate Diploma in Health Professions Education, nagraadse diploma in gesondheidsberoepe onderwys. Sukram BP and the diploma with distinction in the diploma met lof. Advanced University Diploma in Occupational Health Nursing, gevorderde universiteitsdiploma in beroepsgesondheid verpleegkunde. De wet hier, Dorset TN, Farmer BV, Ferreira MI, Gobane TG, Kolisang HP, Mahase PP, Magoba MJ, Malloy M, Maclay EP, Majeche NP, Mogobudi LM. Molibele MC. Motlong DS. Mflapu TA. Ragiba DA. Rens PJ. Seyaki LJ. Valentine R. Swarts DF. Advanced University Diploma in Forensic Nursing, gevorderde universiteitsdiploma in forensiese verpleegkunde. Babe BR. Kuse TA. Kitsa MF. Magape RM. Masilu SM. Matlatla CL. Mkanzi G. Mweleza TM. Mkhonyane BJ. Senekwane KJ. Sonkwe RM. Advanced University Diploma in Healthcare Management, gevorderde universiteitsdiploma in gesondheidszorgbestuur. Dus Buswake BF. Kotswane SC. Kinane SM. Majela MA. Magalane ND. Masiba KP. Masita JR. Masloko NA. Matsoso GE. Moaglodi, NCM. Moalusi, GK. Modisang, EE. Moeti, TD. Mofokeng, NM. Mokonwana, KCF. Monyatsi, FP. Mokloi, ML. Unyai, NP. Nkobo, T. Raile, TM. Rampana, SO. Seluglirwe, SM. Vilakasi, NS. Advanced University Diploma in Advanced Midwifery and Neonatology, gevorderde universiteitsdiploma in gevorderde verloskunde en neonatologie. Kala, L. Jacobs, NF. Mabasu, NE. Mafeta, MC. Matlakala, LM. Mayu, MA. Molefe, N. Pai, K. Siate, LRC, and a diploma with distinction in die diploma met lof. Sohusa, C. Tanyane, LE. Chabangu, MA. Chilu, M. Advanced University Diploma in Pediatric Nursing, gevorderde universiteitsdiploma in kinderverpleegkunde. Moliku, MW. Advanced University Diploma in HIV and AIDS, Healthcare, gevorderde universiteitsdiploma in NIV en vigsgesondheidsorg. Adoons, DM. Mutweneng, J. Advanced University Diploma in Operating Theatre Nursing, gevorderde universiteitsdiploma in operasiesaal verpleegkunde. David, ST. Hofman J. Liu T.E. Advanced University Diploma in Primary Healthcare, gevorderde universiteitsdiploma in primêre kliniese gesondheidsorg. Dao T.K.E. De Necker S.S. Lamini L.R. Gechu A.N. Yankee M.A. Khabisi G.M. Kitty N.P. Kutola M.M. Lageto D.V. Lerumu M.M. Mana Z. Marinene K. Matibi N.M. Mere M.A. Mokwena T.L. Molefi M.M. Moletsane M. Molloy N. Mooku M.J. Mutsuneng M.M. Njonjo A. Nonyane T.P. Ntlawa S.S. Panswa Z. Peterson M.I. Peku M.I. Pumodi M.A. Peterson T.I. Ninisele S.E. Ramulukhwane J. Ranechinyane M.A. Siyoku N.E. Strydom CE and a diploma with distinction in diploma met lof. Tilem N. Ter Blanche BS. Jamela NJ. Claudie MSR. Solu TL. Van Rooyen JF and a diploma with distinction in diploma met lof. Jaba MM. Zimu EN. Advanced University Diploma in Nursing Education, geworden universiteitsdiploma in verpleegonderrig. Lou W. Molusi LE. Shosane NM. Chichlo DE. Baccalaureus Suentatis Scientia in Nursing, verpleegkunde. Olner M and a degree with distinction in die graad met lof. Bason T. Becker JD and a degree with distinction in graad met lof. Botha LE. Chambo VV. De Bruin GE. De Nyssen MH. De Plooi K. De Pree N. LSD. Gaigane PK. Hildebrand JD. Glakotsa SF. Hoog SJ. Kumalu TD. Kwalane TA. Kutele MP. Creer T. Kriegel JS. Lentoor M. Leteba MC. Risanyane, GM. Lombard, E. Martha, MA. Magluane, EN. Mayane, PT. Maru, TP. Mofokeng, MS. Mofokeng, NR. Mukete, TJ. Mogutu, PE. Mokwena, DI. Musetle, KP. Musolo T and a degree with distinction in graad met lof. Mpolu, MM. Mpitsi, KE. Nonyane, MM. Peach, JL. Pinar, CJ. Prosalo Glow, T. Bohane, MW. Rasool, ZE. Ratlogo, M. Redlinghuis, S. Setlabu, LA. Setlugelo, MB. Sibui, DK. Sitole, PA. Solwandle, SM. Chabalala, J. Van der Merwe, L, and a degree with distinction in graad met lof. Van Niekerk hier. Van Wyk A. Van Sail, CM. Foster, D, and a degree with distinction in graad met lof. Vos, CL. No, no, no. No, no, no. No, no, no. No, no. You need to wait for me first for the announcement. Mr. Chancellor, I now request the graduates who received the baccalaureate degree in nursing to stand for taking the oath. I also request all registered nurses in the audience to stand and to identify themselves with the gravity with which the oath is regarded. Those present are requested not to applaud after an oath has been taken.
Voor God en in die teenwoordigheid van almal hier, dat ek glo en dat die eerbare professie wat ek nou betree, 'n groot voorreg en 'n ontzagwekkende verantwoordelikheid in my hande lê. Ek sal myself van alles wat skadelik en verkeerd is onthou en sal nooit enige nadelige en bedwelmende middel neem of dit doelbewus aan ander toedien nie. Ke tla etsa tsohle tse matleng a ka ho boloka le ho phahamisa maemo a mosebetsi wa ka, mme ke tla boloka ka hohle le lekunutu ditaba tsohle tsa botho le tsa lelapa tseo nka itshotlwang ke di hlokomela nakong ya ho phetha mosebetsi wa ka. I see myself as a sounding board for my patients in pain, dismay and fear, and therefore each of them is an individual to me, with an own personality and needs. Each is an embodiment of the wonder of life, whom I want to acknowledge and protect in all modesty. In the final instance, I see my work as an expression of love, a love that includes all my fellow humans, regardless of their race or religion or status. Thus, I want to see my vocation as part of a divine truth, and now abide faith, hope, love, these three, but the greatest of these is love.
Please be seated. Baccalaureus in Medical Sciences honoris, baccalaureus honoris in mediese wetenskappe. Damane DR with specialization in medical microbiology. De Toy M with specialization in medical physiology, geneeskundige fisiologie. Kloppers JF with specialization in human molecular biology en molekulêre biologie menslik, and a degree with distinction in die graad met lof. Koortsen BJ with specialization in human molecular biology, menslike molekulêre biologie. Lamprecht E with specialization in human molecular biology, menslike molekulêre biologie. Mageta MF and specialization in human molecular biology. Maleka RB with specialization in human molecular biology. Morphus M with specialization in medical physics. Museki RM with specialization in medical microbiology and virology. Ntoy M with specialization in medical physiology. Segunyane RK with specialization in medical physics. Sipunzi P. with specialization in human molecular biology. Soquela CM with specialization in medical microbiology and virology. Tron IV with specialization in medical physics and geneeskundige fisika. Foster BJ with specialization in medical physics met spesialisasie in geneeskundige fisika. Mr. Chancellor, I have the privilege to request you to award the Dean's Medal in absentia and a prize to the following candidates. The Dean's Medal awarded to a final year student who achieved the best results in respect of a first 5-year baccalaureate degree in the Faculty of Health Sciences, as well as the Senate Medal and prize awarded to the best 5-year baccalaureate degree at the university. Die dekaansmedalje toegeken aan die finaaljaarstudent wat die beste ten opsigte van die eerste 5-jarige baccalaureusgraad in die fakulteit Gesondheid Wetenskappe presteer het, as ook senaatsmedalje en prys toegeken aan die beste 5-jarige baccalaureusstudent aan die universiteit. Dit gaan aan Dr. Julie Marie Botha vir haar MBCAB. Chancellor also to say that for the first 4 years she averaged 87%. And and in the final year, for 5 of major modules got distinction in absentia, then Chancellor, the Senate and the Dean's Medal. Thank you. The Dean's Medal awarded to the final year student who achieved the best results in respect of a first 4-year baccalaureate degree in the Faculty of Health Sciences, as well as a Senate Medal and prize awarded to the best 4th-year baccalaureate degree student at the university, the Dean's Medal, and die dekaansmedalje toegeken aan 'n finaaljaarstudent wat die beste ten opsigte van die eerste 4-jarige baccalaureusgraad in die Fakulteit Gesondheid Wetenskappe presteer het, as ook die senaatsmedalje en prys toegeken aan die beste 4-jarige baccalaureusgraad aan die universiteit, en dit gaan aan mevrou Hester Maria Odendaal, baccalaureus in dieetkunde dietetics.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the privilege to request you to confer the following diplomas and degrees on the candidates I introduce to you. Postgraduate Diploma in Labour Law, nagraadse Diploma in Arbeidsreg. July Z.J. Gotule T.V. Kanya Z.J. Kesa T.J. Dakanyani T.J. Madakani Z.M. Marachal T. Masire S.H. Mbeli S.S. Makhale T.G. Mokenyani FM. Monsitsi PM. Nsibi AD. Ntombeni PL. Ntema SS. Ntobo MG. Nshangasi TB. Pakisi T. Ranchobe MP. Ratswane TI. Sechele MP. Sakoutu TN. Sepeami TD. Shuping CN. Tamani NC. Taua DM. Tlokwe LC. Chazibana WP. Van Heerden hier. Vukutu Z. Bacillarius Urus. Bezuidenhout D.W. Boyson M. Braaf NZ. Buthelezi S. Base G. Kutser Pierre Vier. De Jager Tier. De Kok D.J. Dismore S. Fourie A4. Gamma SC with distinction, made law. Gous GS. Kubeka FN. De Chaba LS. Makoe MJ. Mashilo KD.
Machokare MS. With distinction, we make love. Okay. Machokare MS. The degree with distinction, make love. Mokwena EL. Potolo NJ. Radevi SP. Ratakana TI. Safatsa PP. Chabalala LN. My good friend. Wangra WA. Congratulations. Baccalaureus Legum. Abrams RH. Adam L. Barber KL. Barnes WR. Bomela S. Benatu SJ, the degree with distinction, make law. Buerta AS, the degree with distinction, make law. Buerta K, the degree with distinction, graad make law. Bab P. Upekulu SS. Tangani. Okay, no click. PR. Chabani AN. Chinner R. Kutsia E. Kronia MM. Kraus SF. Dalhousie S. De Villiers SP. Dorfling S. Durant MM, the degree with distinction, made law. Deza GE. Edwards M. Vinger, M. Fourie, C. Gertenbach, M.H., degree with distinction, met lof. Goosen, M. Granger, C. Griesel, R. Isaac, N.T. Jacobs, N.M. Jerry, C.C. Johnson, B.B.C. Yonk, MC, the degree with distinction, met law. Kate Samaile, I.T. Kotsa, M.M. Lines, L. Labotsa, M.M. Lekhalanyani, R.K.N.T. Lenka, T.P. Liebenberg, C. Liebenberg, W.H. Vierhal. Lotering, V.A.R. Lubber, J.S. Year S. Martins, H. Mabeluane, P.T. Madlala, N. Mafisa, P. Malangu, A.M. Makaise, G. Martin, N.L. Masia, S. Meiring, C. Mekwa, M.D. Mitchell, LM. Makize MT. Mokamo MG. Mogele NQ. Mokwena LT. Molemi LL. Mosemi LE. Motaung JT. Wait. Haven't announced you yet. Mudau R. Mulheron NC. Nzizi HJ. Wait. Nell UC. Nkonela NZ. Ntageni V. Wursthuizen SWB. Pieterse E. Die graad met lof, the degree with distinction. Ranger CK. Rode M. Siati L. Segotsani MK. Chopani Tia. T. Shumba T. Shweni S. Simmons NY. Smith JH. Smith Carl. Steenkamp L, die graad met lof, the degree with distinction. Stradum V. Tebe BKI. Tloka MP. Trotsky G. Truter FS. Chikwaliva C. Tuta TB. Can I have your card? Valashia ZS. Vandenberg JJ. Van Heerden K4. Van Kasterop, J, die graad met lof, the degree with distinction. Van Skalkwyk L. Van Wyk DR. Van Wyk GP. Van Sail SA. Van Sail SH. Venter M. Viljoen C. Forster B. Walker MC. Wessels A. Windvogel MA. Mr. Chancellor, I have the privilege to request you to award the Dean's Medal to the final year student who achieved the best results in respect of a first four-year baccalaureate degree in the Faculty of Law. De decaan se medalje toegekend aan die finale jaar student wat die beste ten opsigte van 'n eerste 4-jarige baccalaureusgraad in die fakulteit regsgeleerdheid presteer het. Mevrou Bonato, Samantha Jane.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the privilege to request you to confer the following diplomas and degrees on the candidates I introduce to you. Certificate in Theology, Certificaat in Theologie. Lepalo SC. Makura TNJ. Olifant JR. Advanced Diploma in Theology, gevorderde diploma in Theologie, Mogeseng MV. Baccalaureus Artium Theology, Baccalaureus Artium Theologie. Vry JW. Baccalaureus Theologiae. Wester AJ. De Tooi EM. Germeshuis G. Ngezi BB. Nortier HHS en die graad met lof and the degree with distinction. Olivier M. Swanepoel C. Wissels NG. Baccalaureus Artium Honoris Theology, Baccalaureus Artium Honoris Theologie. Party MM with specialization in Old Testament.
It's always wonderful to conclude these ceremonies with the Faculty of Theology, and especially when somebody with such a heavyweight title, comes across. I remember a couple of years ago, there was an 80-something-year-old woman from theology who came across in her 80s and got a PhD. Apparently, the subject of the thesis was the resurrection. When you're in your 80s, you look forward to the opstanding. Well, students, this has been a wonderful week for us. This is graduation ceremony number 8. And thank God it's the last one this week. We are tired. And the Chancellor, I don't know how he manages, to shake all those hands and stand and sit and so on. But, we have the experience of the goldfish. You know that goldfish joke? That every time the goldfish goes around in the little bowl, it's the first time. So even though we see so many students and go through so many ceremonies, every time we do, it's the first time, because for you, and for many of you, it is the first time. And I just want to say to you, this is a great week to be alive. Oh my Lord, I'm glad the Chancellor had, just imagine, the best rugby team in the countries of all the universities, the best tennis team of all the universities, the best netball team of all the universities, and then to top it all, Sundowns lost 5-0. This is a good week to be alive. This is a good week. This is a good week to be alive. Sundowns lost 5-0 and the Bulls beat the Sharks on coming Saturday. This is a good week. This is a good week to be alive. And most of all, it is good because we have the opportunity to be with you here today. Now, students, as I say at every graduation ceremony, and I will say this until the day I leave, you did not come here by yourself. You came here because the people sitting over there made enormous sacrifices to bring you here. Now, fortunately, I met many of you when you were in the first year. I've seen you in my office. We cried together. We prayed together. I taught some of you how to write books. I taught others of you how to solve a quadratic equation. But we sat in my office for different reasons. Sometimes you just came to tell me about a relative who passed away. So I saw you. I saw Palesa when she stepped up to the plate and headed up the Juridical Society in the Faculty of Law. I saw Bonolo Tebe when he became one of our preeminent leaders in the SRC. I saw each and every one of you as you came through this university. I know your stories. And I know you did not get here by yourself. Would you mind, therefore, getting up and thanking those people for bringing you here today? Thank you very much. And tonight I would like you to take them to the Spur for a change. On page 713 of your annual yearbook for your faculty, I hope you saw it, it says there that your first check comes to the university. Because you are now what they call a convocant. Did you know that? You are now a member of convocation and you are called a convocant. Now on Tuesday things went horribly wrong because I told one of the students after graduation, did you know that you are now a convocant? And he looked at me very seriously. He said, Professor, I was born a Methodist and I will die a Methodist. This has got nothing to do with your religion, okay? This is being a member of the distinguished alumni of COFSIS. But you know, in our culture, you don't simply thank the people who took out loans to bring you here and made sacrifices. You also thank the people who taught you. So even today, there's still some of my grade 1 teacher. Those days they called it substandard A. I don't know how you can call something substandard. It's like grade 00. You just know you're not twice, you know. And my grade 1 teacher is still alive. And whenever I see her, she's very old, of course, I would say, thank you for teaching me. Would you please thank the teachers here for teaching you? Including the ones whose modules you failed. Thank you very much. Now, I will be very short because it's been a long session and also a long day, and the Chancellor also wants to say a word. Let me just say this to you today. You've heard since you set your foot on COFSIS territory that we only have 2 projects at the university. The one is called the academic project, which means that the only thing that matters here is your academic ambition. I don't care how poor you are. I don't care how much you've struggled. I don't care what you look like. But what is important to us is your academic ambition. And we've talked to you over and over. Every time I speak to you guys, we speak about the academic project. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time there. And every time I speak to you, I speak about the human project. And the human project quite simply means the extent to which you are a decent human being, because you can have a degree and still be a barbarian. You can have skills and still not know how to love. You can have qualifications and yet fail in that most important qualification, which is to get along with your fellow human being. And so in the light of what's happening in Durban, in Jeppestown, in other parts of our country, with this horrible xenophobia, I need to remind you about the human project. South Africa's original sin was not race. South Africa's original sin was difference. We don't like things that are different from us. That's our sin. And so we are uncomfortable with gay and lesbian people because we're straight. We are uncomfortable with Catholics because we're Dutch Reformed or evangelical. We're uncomfortable with black people because we're white. We're uncomfortable with white people because we're black. We're uncomfortable with the person who is a Muslim and prays to his God because I pray to my God. We are uncomfortable with things, with people who are different from us. Now, it is up to your generation to solve that problem once and for all. Because you cannot go through another century in which the people who are your best friends look like you, pray like you, make love like you when you're married, come from where you come, speak your language. If that is the only thing by which you define your life, my eie mense, my own people, I can tell you now, not only will you be in trouble, your children will be in trouble. Not only will your children be in trouble, your country will be in trouble. I can tell you that. And since I've been here 5 years and 7 months and 2 weeks and 3 days and 4 hours, I can tell you that I have seen miraculous changes in the student body. I've seen black and white students become best friends. I've seen gay and straight students become lifelong friends. I have seen students, I'm doing a book at the moment about 20 couples on our campus. That is, students who have become not just intimate friends, but also very good buddies, but who are black and white. And they tell me when they go to the waterfront, the people in Bloemfontein stare at them as if one of them is from Mars and has antenna going through his face, and everybody wants to know, is julle intiem? Grow up. For heaven's sake, grow up. Love freely. Care openly. But if you are simply the only people I don't mix with, I mean, I also am a broken man, I'll just be honest with you. The only people I don't mix with are Stormers, but everybody else. Stormers and Amakosi don't belong in my home, but everybody else, is very welcome. Obviously, I say that tongue in cheek, but listen, you're going to have children. I can tell you now from research, over and over again as an educational researcher, the single most important factor which will determine whether your child grows up normally or with racial hatred or racial indifference, the single most important factor is the school your kid goes to. And that's why I have trouble with first years, because every year we take in 4,000 to 5,000 first years, and then I have to start all over again. And it takes me 18 months just to teach an angry kid or a bitter kid to be normal. 18 months of very hard work, day and night. Now that should have happened at school. That should have happened in the home. That should have happened in the church and in the mosque and in the synagogue and in the temple, but it doesn't. And that is why universities are such dangerous places for first-year students, because they come from all over without the capacity. Listen here, let me ask you something. I take a vow very seriously. That is why I'm married to the same wife for 35 years. 35 years. The other day I was in serious trouble when, we were married 27 years. So I thought I'd sort of just make my wife feel good, And I made a big mistake. I said to her, we've been married today for 27 years. Did you know that's the same number of years that Mandela was in prison? And she just took it up wrong. She just took it up very wrong. And it got worse when I suggested maybe I will be released. But, I take a vow. This professor sitting in front here, I've been watching her all these days. Thank you for coming. Not once did she smile throughout all these ceremonies, but at least I've won. I got you to smile, And by the way, ladies, when that guy over there stands on the camera, I've been having a lot of fun, and he stretches his face because he wants you to smile. He's not flirting with you. Don't get ahead of yourself. He's just trying to get you to smile. I see some of the girls saying, no. Please, that is. So I take vows very seriously. Here's a vow that you read, the nursing students. I wonder if you mean it. I wonder if you mean it. I see my work as an expression of love, a love that includes all, not some, all my fellow humans, regardless of their race or religion or status. I know for a fact that is not true for many of you here today. And I know for a fact this country it's easy to judge the xenophobic hatred, easy. We all do it. I do it in my column today in the Times. All of us do it. And we must judge it. But it's easy. But if I don't see in your life as a graduate of COFSIS the capacity to love across these boundaries, your children will be in trouble, this campus will be in trouble, this country will be in trouble, this continent will be in trouble because we have not learned to love. Many of you have been at my home. On Saturday, there'll be another 100 students from one of the residences at my home. You can come there day or night. You will never find everybody who look like us. You will find people who are Muslim and Christian, Afrikaans speaking and isiZulu speaking. You will find people from Zimbabwe and from Durban and from Nelspruit and from every little corner of this beautiful country. And since the day my children were born, they saw people who did not speak their language or pray like them. And that is why when people talk to them about race, they get very confused. Because we taught them to love without constraint. Without constraint. If your degree is going to change anything, it must start by changing yourself. You can't presume to transform other people unless you've been transformed yourself. An expression of love that includes all my fellow human beings. And the only reason I'm still here after more than 5 years is because I believe you have the capacity to love all your fellow human beings. God bless you, and go well.
For the last time this week, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We've come to the end of another inspiring graduation session because all of them are, in their own unique way, quite inspiring. And this one was no different. All that is left of me is to say a few thank yous. Starting with, even though they're not in the hall with us, Caroline Grace Brousseau, and Cornel Miller for beautiful musical item that they shared with us to open these proceedings. And I just want us to give them another round of applause, even though they are not physically present. And then we had a graduation speaker who, fortunately, unlike this morning, is still in the hall, whose very life would make many of us reflect more on our own lives, whose very life is a message. But the message was reinforced by what she shared with us today. But what's been amazing for this whole week, she is the fourth speaker to address the 8 graduation sessions. And there's been a consistency of messaging coming from all of them. And they've kind of used the same kinds of words and metaphors. And we had a young man here on Wednesday, a 23-year-old entrepreneur, an incredible young South African, Dumiso Hadebe, who reminded us that this particular graduation season taking place in 2015 takes place when our country, the democratic system in our country, turns 21, and made me and many others reflect on the human scale what it means to reach their 21st birthday. And he spoke about a key, that the graduates might just be that key. Remember that key that you get when you turn 21? Our national democratic system is turning 21, and it gives us an opportunity to reflect on what the first 25, 21 years of this young democracy have meant. Might you just be that key? Dr. Padime talks about you being the agent. Leanne Manas spoke about the key. Both her story and her message today and the other 3 speakers in this season challenges, as Leon Manas puts it, the most comfortable place to be is the comfort zone. Except that nothing grows in the comfort zone, which is why we have to get out of it if we want to become the key or the agents that these eminent individuals have spoken to us about. She asks the question today, would you dare to be the change agent? Would you dare to come out of your comfort zone as she did? A medical career to many people is the most secure career to have. You have the option of doing it in the public sector, where service is what drives you. When you kind of get tired of it, you can go into the private sector. But she got compelled by life's own circumstances to revisit whether what potentially could be one of the most comfortable professional life had landed her indeed in the space that she felt she needed to be in. She asks whether can you feel it. There was that restlessness in her, and ultimately she made that leap of faith. Did she know that she was going to find another career? No, she did not. After finding it, she asks, did she know if she was going to succeed? And she says no. But today, she's not just a role model to her 2 beautiful daughters. She's a role model to me and to all of us, because she challenges us to think about coming out of that warm space called the comfort zone. The world does not get changed by people who remain in the comfort zone. The world gets changed, as Ndubizo Hadebe told us, gets changed by people who decide that they will challenge the status quo. Go challenge the status quo. Refuse to be so comfortable and so warm in the comfort zone that feel discomforted by it. And step out and change the world. If you do that, you would not have betrayed the efforts of those sitting up in the bleachers, who the Vice Chancellor said you must rise and applaud because they brought you here. You would not have betrayed those teachers from the beginning until these who are sitting in this hall with you today, those communities, those churches, those mosques, temples. But it also would not have betrayed the hard work that you've put into what brought you here today. We have to be those change agents that the good doctor says challenges us to be. That is what this institution expects of you going forward. I wish you well, and I wish this world becomes a better place because now you are in it with a degree from this university. Those of you who completed their degrees with distinctions, can you please rise? All those who got distinctions, please rise. I want this audience to give you another round of applause for incredible achievements. As you remain standing, except for one who sat down already, please rise, sir. I saw one to sit down already. Okay? This being the 8th session, something wonderful is happening in this institution and hopefully in this country. But I'd like to say in this institution because of the specialness of this institution. Over the 8 graduation sessions, I've been doing very crude arithmetic. Easily, 70-75% of those who got distinctions were female. And I want to, because we have today nursing and law and theology and other health sciences, you may think that it's only in those disciplines that stereotypically or typically would historically attract females. I can tell you when natural and agricultural sciences graduated on Tuesday, it was 75% female. When economic and management sciences graduated the following day, it was almost 80% female. And with humanities yesterday, it was the same. And today, it may not be 80%. I'm counting about 65% or so. But it's absolutely remarkable. And I look forward to the world where leadership would ultimately go and reside where it belongs, with the female of the species. That too bad I turned 60 years old this year. I'd like to live longer, to live in that world that will be led by women. The Vice Chancellor requests all of you, as those standing, as everybody else moves out, to please remain inside the hall for a group photo that the Vice Chancellor would like to take with you. So please, as everybody else moves out, just remain inside. You'll join your families and friends later for that photo opportunity in here with the Vice Chancellor. Please be seated. Before I wrap up, let me recognize the ladies and gentlemen sitting to my left, who will lead us in the singing of the national anthem, and thank them for their dedicated service to these graduation sessions. Dr. Matilde Tomvium leads the singing, and the ensemble is led by Anton Ersterheiser. And I just want us to give them a round of applause for this dedicated service to this graduation. As I conclude, I'm going to ask all those who are wearing Nick's team in their black and whatever that color is. What's that color? Cherry red. To please come up front. All those who are part of the team that organizes these graduation sessions, please walk down and go stand with your colleagues. Please come up front. Everybody, those in blazers, please come too. Nicolene, come. Paul? Where's Joan? In this session, we have graduated 3,660 graduates in 8 sessions. You have experienced this one today, and trust me when I say the level of professionalism of organizing these has consistently, over the 5 years that I've had the privilege to be the Chancellor, what you experience here today. I'm sure you can imagine what it takes to bring 3,600 graduates into this hall in 8 sessions, and all the families, friends, and loved ones, and for everything to go like clockwork. The procession, the main procession leaves the main building. Every session, 15 minutes before the starting time of this graduation, we walk out of there. And that's because of the quality of preparation under the guidance of the acting registrar, Dr. Brousseau, with Nick Venter as the general in charge. And I want you to truly give them a heartfelt, congratulatory applause for a job incredibly well done over the week. As they remain standing, I'm going to ask Nick to please come up. Five years ago, the Vice Chancellor came to me and said, if you were asked to become the Chancellor of this university, what would your response be? We're somewhere in the east of Bloemfontein at some convention place. And I said to him, I will accept. The invitation came, and I was given an incredible privilege to serve as the Chancellor of this university in my home province, in my hometown, the province that that's in my blood, the town that is in my blood, the blood that is green as Sundowns experienced this week. The first time I came onto this campus as the Chancellor, I met this gentleman standing next to me. And after introducing himself, the first question he asked me, can he measure my head? Now, I didn't know whether he wanted the head still attached to the body or whether this was the time when I get decapitated for the weight of my head to be measured. But no, he meant to measure the circumference of my head for this cap that I'm now wearing. And that's when I met Nick Venter for the first time. And over the last 5 years, I've got to know him very well because I've worked very closely with him and with John Nell as the two people that principally support the role that I play as the Chancellor of this university. Came from a place, coal mining town called Vierfontein. Came to this university, got a B social sciences degree, went and did 2-3 jobs elsewhere, and 40 years ago, joined this university. And he has had 40 unbroken years of service to this university, which these days you don't find easy. Nick has reached the point of retirement, and this today is his very last graduation session on this main campus after 40 years of service to this university. But it's not his very last graduation, because he and I, 4 years ago, I did the first graduation at the Kwakwa campus of this university. And if hell is like what I experienced there that day, I certainly don't want to go to hell, and I must go and pray and be a good Christian so that I end up somewhere else. It was chaotic, it was undignified, it was noisy, and I said to Nick when I walked out of that hall that this is the first and the last time that I come here into this chaos and this indignity. So there began a project where I challenged this institution to say the standards that you apply on the main campus must be the same standards that are applied in Kwakwa. Professor Tiens Verskoor was there. The Vice-Chancellor was not there on that occasion. I remember him trying to give congratulatory speech at the end, and nobody was listening. People were still ululating and walking up and down the hall, and we began the project of transforming that graduation. I said to the registrar then that I will not preside over a ghetto in Kwakwa, because that's what I experienced. The difference in quality was that this one, where at the time, the graduating class would be 60% white, 40% black, and that has changed significantly over the last 5 years. In Kwakwa, it was 100% black. And Nick will have the opportunity to close his chapter of arranging graduations here when he comes to the Kwakwa graduation in May. And I look forward, Nick, to seeing you there again. Ladies and gentlemen, his daughter, I instructed her. She was on duty, and I said to her, she must tell whoever her supervisors are that the Chancellor said she must be here at this time, and I want you to come on the stage and honor your father with a bouquet from the family. Thank you very much. Nick, you don't strike me as the retiring type. And whatever it is that you're going to do, I certainly would like to be informed of it, because I certainly would like me and you to see what it is that we can do together in the future. It's been wonderful working with you. Enjoy retirement, and our paths will continue together going forward. Thank you, Nick. Thank you very much. The team can now disperse. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, we now come to the very end of the proceedings. Mr. Vice-Chancellor, let me thank you and your team, the deans, the acting registrar, and everybody else for the tremendous support that you provide me as the host of these graduation ceremonies. Dr. Choice, I want to thank you again for having led it so ably this morning and this afternoon. The deans, well, job well done, and those who came earlier in the week. And to you all, thanks for making my life so special. I've just been honored by this institution to serve as Chancellor for a second 5-year term, and I could not have received a greater honor than that. As we conclude, the university takes pleasure in inviting you for refreshments in the examination venue EXR4, which is to the right of this hall as you walk out. We will shortly rise and join in the singing of the national anthem, which, as I'd indicated, will be led by Dr. Matilde Tom Vium, accompanied by an ensemble directed by Anton Esterhuizen, after which you are requested to remain standing while the congregation is dissolved and until the main and academic processions have left the hall. Shall we please rise for the singing of the national anthem? What a rousing rendition, Matilda. Thank you very much. By virtue of the power vested in me as Chancellor, I hereby dissolve this congregation of the University of the Free State.